Welcome to Flowing Clean, the radio show where the Sufa River and ravines have a voice and communities take the lead. Each week, we dive into the heart of the Flowing Clean project, discussing the most recent activities, giving insight into upcoming ones. We will uncover the science and the solutions behind clean, healthy rivers, from expert guests to local champions. This is your source for inspiration, information, and action about this project. Flowing Clean is funded by Jeff SGP UNDP and ProCarry Plus, and this program is made possible by SRDF as our collaborating and funding partner. Join us on Flowing Clean because every drop counts and the river depends on you. Flowing Clean, restoring our rivers together. Keep the river clean. Good morning, Sufre. Good morning to everybody listening on radio, online, on Facebook, and on YouTube, as well as live stream. My name is Nadia Kazabo, your host for Flowing Clean. Welcome to everybody. I hope you are having a wonderful Tuesday so far. And today we are going to discuss some of the activities that Flowing Clean has happening this week and in the coming weeks. There is a lot that is happening, a lot that I have to discuss with you. So let's get right into it. This morning, I want to just inform you that the project has started our Nettoyer Soufrière initiative. We are embarking on getting every community in Soufrière to conduct a cleanup activity to clean their community. We have started with last week, Saturday and Sunday, the Barron Drive community on their own, and I want to say thank you very much and kudos to Aquinas Sylvester for taking the initiative to, he saw that it was necessary, he saw that the area was accumulating garbage, and he arranged and organized and paid for the cleanup in the community, and we stepped in to offer some assistance as well. So I want to say kudos to Barnes Drive and Aquinas for starting the cleanup on Saturday last week. They cleaned the entire Quelance area, and they went around into Margaret Tooth and came back with literally a boatload of garbage from the Margaret Tooth area. It is disappointing and disheartening that we have such a beautiful beach at the base of Gaupiton. That is the base of Petit Piton, Margaret Tooth Beach, from 100 yards all the way down by Paradise Resort. That is accumulating garbage. Murphy and Jen from Paradise have on their own started keeping an area, a section of the beach clean for their patrons, for their guests, and I want to commend them on that. But the rest of the beach area, Soufrière, St. Lucians, when you go to the beach, you organize your beach party, your lime, your hangout, and you go down there, please go back to your homes with your garbage. A couple weeks ago in January, I accompanied some persons from the Pacific Islanders, as well as California and the Caribbean. We did an initial cleanup in the area, and I was shocked and embarrassed to see the amount of garbage behind the trees, in the bush, in the grass, at Margaret Tooth. We uncovered bags, garbage bags. You came to the beach, you filled up a garbage bag. Why did you leave it there? Who did you expect to come to remove it? We need to do better. There is no garbage dumping area. Sadu doesn't come to the beach to remove garbage bags. So if you go to the beach and you see somebody or you yourself have garbage, kindly go back home with your garbage and put it out for the garbage truck when it is passing. The beach is not the place to be dumping your garbage. It is going to come back to bite you and affect your health not in the long run, in the very short term. We're already seeing the impacts of pollution on our population. We can do better. We must do better. We need to do better. So I want to say thank you to all those persons from Barons Drive and other communities who turned up in Barons Drive on Saturday for the cleanup in that community. And as well in the Lower Boulevard Street Riverside area, I want to say a public thank you to Mrs. Sylvia Prosper, as well as Miguel Henry, and the team from Lower Boulevard Street area who went all out on Sunday to clean up their area. They cleaned up not just the lanes that persons walk through, but they also cleaned the river. And as could clearly be seen, the bulk of the garbage that we took out from the river on Sunday did not come from that community. It came from people dumping garbage over the bridge, over the sides of the riverbank, into the grass just below the area by the bridge, the footbridge that goes across to the primary school. It came from areas above. When people dump their stuff in the river, it floats down the river and gets caught in the grass. So we had a big undertaking, and I want to say thank you to Miguel for using his weed eater to cut down some of the grass in the area so that we could remove the countless bottles and bags of feces, people, that were removed from the river, bags of garbage, bags which contained chicken skin that had been dumped in the river. It was appalling and disturbing to see the amount that was removed from the river. They also removed the seat of a bus, a mattress, cushions. All these things were trapped in the grass, in the reeds, in the elephant grass in the river. And the project is very happy to contribute to that effort by providing the necessary resources that were required for those volunteers to go into the river. And we had several persons who voluntarily participated in removing and cleaning up the area because they want to see their little community of Riverside Lower Boulevard Street clean. We just sent up one truck, a 35-ton truck, to the landfill, and it was not even full. It's coming back to pick up the rest of the garbage later today. So I want to say, for the start, we have started with a bang with our community cleanups. Barons Drive led the way. Thank you very much. Followed by Lower Boulevard Street Riverside. Thank you very much. And we are coming along this coming weekend. Several other communities will be conducting their cleanups. I want you to look out, listen for when your community is going to be next. We have started, well, not we have started, but we have several leaders in all the different communities who are holding meetings within their community for them to mobilize their neighbors, mobilize the groups that reside in the area. And when I get all the dates, we will be advertising and letting you all know. So I can tell you this weekend, either Saturday or Sunday, the date hasn't been finalized as yet, but Anwar is organizing for the cleanup at Mini. Also, Miles and Leofer and the Rising Stars Club in the Palmis area, they're arranging for their cleanup. The New Development Improvement Committee, they met last night. The meeting was not well attended, but they agreed to do a walkthrough this coming Sunday because they have identified a couple areas of concern that they are looking to tackle, and they will then date their cleanup thereafter. Market Road is also mobilizing for them to clean up their area. And we have all the other communities that we have already contacted that they are looking to set their dates, and I will make all those dates available when it is communicated to me. So I want you to, while in the interim, find out who is responsible for organizing the cleanup for your area. We are doing it Kudme style. I'm not paying anybody to clean up the area. You're responsible for your area. You should be cleaning up your community. You should be cleaning up the space where you live, where you work, where you reside. So I want everybody to pitch in. We have lost this tradition, this spirit of Kudme. And even on Saturday, I was disgusted when I heard some persons that we asked that they were hanging out where they would join into the cleanup, and they told me, "Oh, you're taking away a work from me that I could have gotten the minister to pay me to do that." No, you live in the area, you hang out in the area. Nobody should be paying you for you to clean the area where you're sitting, where you're living, where you're residing. You should have some pride in your community for you to be able to say, "Okay, I am keeping my area clean." And I'm very impressed with Miguel. Miguel on his own keeps his lane clean. He's using his blower. He goes as far as using his blower on his own time. That has been his habit for years now. He does that as intrinsically he's seeing the need for it, and he does it for himself, for himself and for his neighbors. He blows away all the leaves and he collects them and he puts them in bags, or they burn them in the area. This is how I grew up in Soufrière. This is what I know Soufrière to be, that we take pride in the area where we live to keep it clean. And that is being lost, and we need to bring it back. So with our Nettoyer Soufrière initiative, we are doing it Kudme style. We want persons to come together to clean up their area. Once we have all the areas cleaned, we want it to remain clean. We want persons to start monitoring what is happening. Who are the persons who are dumping garbage in your area? If the person is not from your area, feel free to call on them, caution them, and demand that they pick up the garbage that they threw away. And if they are refusing, you can always turn to the law. If you do not want to call the police, you can call me directly and report it, and I will gladly take up that case to the police. We are at a point where we need, as a community, to be very, very aware of how garbage is affecting our health in the community. As you are aware, part of our project entails water quality testing. And we tested the river in October of last year. And I am prepared for us to present the results to the wider Soufrière community. We are planning a community consultation that will be broadcast live. We want persons to attend in person. And for those of you who cannot attend in person, we will have a live link that will be broadcast for all persons to listen to. We will be presenting the results of our water quality testing, the river, to give you an update as to the state of the Soufrière River. I have some good news about the river, but also some bad news. We saw an improvement in the water quality up to a certain point in Font Saint-Jacques, but thereafter the water quality continues declining. We are aware of what the water quality is. It is not meeting the standards for recreation, so nobody should be bathing in the river past a certain point. But the whole intention of this project is for us to improve the water quality so that we can see a lot more areas improving, so that we can start saying by the end of this year, when this project is completed, that a much wider area of the Soufrière River will meet the recreational standards and make it safe enough for persons to be able to bathe there without having to worry about falling sick and contracting any illness and being infected by any pathogens. There's a lot more happening. We are about ready for us to hire a lawyer who will be doing a legislative review to go through the laws in St. Lucia, see where there are gaps, and make recommendations for improvements for our pollution laws relating to pollution in St. Lucia, but also to train the Soufrière police as well as a couple magistrates, so that when you start reporting persons and they go before the magistrates, the police will know right away what regulations to charge them under, and the magistrates will be a lot more mindful of what their rulings, what their judgments are going to be. We want the persons who are littering to start cleaning up. And if it means that we have to bring back the litter gang, as has happened in the past, where if you were caught littering, you were placed on a litter gang for a week or so for you to go about cleaning the community under the supervision of some police officers. We don't mind bringing that back. If that's what it takes for persons to start listening and to start changing their behaviors, if saying it and reminding them and putting up signs and having advertisements, and if they're not seeing the need for them to change their behavior and it has to go the route of getting the police involved and getting the law involved, if that's what it has to happen, that's what is going to happen. But we don't want it to get to that point. And I'm pretty sure the majority of Suffer will not allow it to get to that point. But if the persons who are, the few people who are polluting are continuing and it has to go that route, we are prepared for it to go down that route as well too. We are close. In fact, we are going to be holding our training for enumerators this week, so that by this weekend, you will see persons going out into the community asking questions about the perception of the Suffer River. We are doing what is called a CAP study, a knowledge, attitudes, and practices survey, where we are asking persons questions, how they feel about water in Sufre, whether it be your tap water, the spring water, the water you use for cooking, drinking at your home, the water in the river, the water in the sea. So we just have a very short survey. It doesn't take very long to complete. And we want persons to be receptive. When our enumerators come, they will be trained. We want you to answer their questions. Don't shoo them away. It doesn't take very much time out of your daily schedule for us to get a sense as to how Suferians perceive our river. Do we even value our river anymore? What needs to be done so that we can value our river again if persons do not value the river? Because I keep saying, and I've said it on this radio show, I've said it in different forums, I've spoken to students about it. It's only a matter of time with climate change that St. Lucia is going to be hit by a major hurricane, and persons will be forced to go back to the river as a source of water. If that happens today, I cannot in good conscience allow Suferians to walk through the river, far less collect water from the river to use for cleaning their homes, far less to use the water for bathing. We are at a point where the water quality is already affecting our health, unbeknownst to us, that we must make a change. We must be vigilant about what is happening in and around the river, what is happening to the water that is flowing into the river, so that when that day does arrive, when that time does arrive, we will be assured that we can go and use the river safely. Dominica was hit by Maria and Erica. Dominicans are ahead of us. They prize their rivers, 365 rivers. They value every single one of them. They keep their rivers clean. So when these two major tropical systems hit them, these two major hurricanes hit the island of Dominica, there was no worry about using the river as a source of water. The same cannot be said in St. Lucia. The same cannot be said in Soufrière. So Soufriérians, your actions, our collective actions are detrimental, and when we will need to turn to the river, we will not be able to use it unless we begin to do what needs to happen to improve the water quality in the river in a very short space of time. We have this project that it has funding available for us to do a wide range of actions. We need to get that done. We need your cooperation. It cannot be done by myself only or the committee only. It is through our collective action in Sufre that we can get this accomplished. So I'm making the plea to all of us. Listen for when the community cleanup in your area is happening and pitch in. Volunteer to clean up the area because it is going to benefit you. The persons who have the mentality that, oh, I'm not picking up any garbage, I'm not the one dropping it on the ground. Kudos to you for not dropping anything on the ground. Kudos to you for not being the ones littering. But by leaving it there, by not participating, it is affecting you. We are being told by the Ministry of Health to be on the lookout for the spread of chikungunya. There is chikungunya resurging in the region. Some countries have it really bad already. It's just a matter of time before it gets to us. And with all these plastic bottles and garbage collecting, standing water and breeding mosquitoes, can you imagine how bad chikungunya will be when it gets to St. Lucia? So you're thinking that, hey, I'm not the one who threw that bottle on the ground. Might very well be the one bitten by chikungunya and is suffering with chikungunya, not the person who actually threw the bottle. So when you see somebody throwing a bottle, throwing anything on the ground, call on them to pick it up. It's okay if they quarrel with you. They're quarreling because they're embarrassed. They know they should not be doing it. But because everybody is turning a blind eye and not saying anything, they have gotten into the habit of doing it. So we now need to change that. Call on them. We now need to take responsibility for what we are blessed with. Take responsibility so that we do not get sick. We protect ourselves and our children and our families. So those of us, if you are listening, I want you to spread the word that Nettoyer Soufrière is ongoing. We have started. Find out when the cleanup for your community is happening and for you to take part, for you to participate, and for you to volunteer and play your part. If you see somebody doing something that they should not be doing, speak up. I am always calling on people when I see them throwing things down. The number of persons who have quarreled with me, I quarrel right back with them because they're embarrassed. And I stand my ground that if they throw something, they should pick it up. The rest of the persons who are walking by might hear. They mumble. Some of them would say, yes, you should pick it up. Sometimes I get support, sometimes I don't. But I will still call on persons if I see them dumping anything on the ground for them to clean up the area that they're in. We can do better. We need to do better. We must do better. I'm also working on very soon a project where we will be installing biogas digesters for 5 pig farmers in the Soufrière region. One of the big problems we have in Soufrière is that livestock farmers have their animals and their pens are close to the river or close to a ravine. And when they wash out the pens, when they wash out those areas, the sewage flows straight into the river. That practice needs to stop as well. We have currently 3 pig farmers from a previous project where we installed biogas digesters. We tested out a low-cost biogas digester design that is working brilliantly in diverting feces away from the river. And we've had very good success in eliminating instances of them continuing to wash out the pig waste into the river. It goes into the biogas digester, and guess what? They're making money. 2 of those farmers are currently selling products from pig waste. The dried solids, when they separate the pig waste after they wash it from the pens, it goes into a separation chamber. They dry that and they sell that dried solid as when they compost it as manure. and it is being sold $20 a bag. Farmers are loving the use, loving it. And when the liquid goes into the digester, it goes through a process of anaerobic digestion. That means digestion in the absence of oxygen. So then the bacteria that thrive in anaerobic conditions, they eat the pathogens that cause illnesses. They eat the bacteria that cause illnesses in human beings. And then it goes through an oxidation tank, an oxidation process where oxygen is reinfused. So all the anaerobic bacteria die off. And then what is remaining, the liquid that remains, is a wonderful fertilizer. I know that Bigger, who has a digester in Fonsejac area, they sell a gallon of the liquid, the effluent that comes from the digester, $20 a gallon. So they're making money off of pig waste, but persons are still dumping pig waste into the river. And that needs to stop. We cannot be addressing pollution and we leave the pig pens, we leave the livestock in the river unattended. So I'm calling on all persons who have pig farms. If you are interested in joining the Biogas Digester program, please contact me. My number is 519-2425. We will be partnering with 5 farmers for us to install biogas digesters. They are low-cost digesters that cost less than $1,000 to install, from building a platform to putting in the tanks and running the pipes for the connections. In one instance, it cost the farmer total less than $500 to put in the digester for his pen because of the proximity of the pen to where we install the digester tanks. So I want all persons who have pig farms, if your relatives have pig farms, let them know. We will be doing the training. Under this project, we can only provide digesters for 5 farmers. But anybody who wants to learn can come in when we're doing the training to learn how to do it themselves. I want to also let you know that we are going to be very shortly installing the litter boom in the Soufrière River. The anchors on one side have already been installed and it has cured. We were giving it 21 days for it to cure. It is coming up on the 21st day very soon at the end of this week. So next week we will be holding a launching ceremony or a ribbon cutting ceremony for the litter boom that we will be placing in the Soufrière River. So I want you to look out for that as well. I have spoken about the litter boom in the previous broadcast, a previous episode of Flowing Clean. And once that is done, you will be able to see all what is flowing downstream. You will be able to see what the litter boom is collecting. There is a lot that we have been allowing to flow into the sea. The litter boom is going to help us trap quite a bit of that garbage and prevent it from going into the sea. You will be able to see how clean Soufrians are keeping our river, because it is not tourists coming to dump garbage here. It is our own people who are doing it. It is going to reflect on us as a community, and we want it to reflect positively on us. I would love for the litter boom to be placed there and for us to have no garbage behind it. That would tell me that Soufrians have turned a new leaf, that we are now stewards, that we are now proud of our community, that we are now not succumbing to the pressures of or the urge for us to dump garbage anywhere. But it's going to take a process, it's going to take a while, but it will happen. And we want it to happen. So look out for that. We are now coming up on 11 o'clock and my time here is over. I want to thank you for joining me. Next week, we hope to have a guest. I want to apologize on their behalf. The Water Resources Management Agency could not be with us today as yet. We are waiting on some technical approvals so that the staff would be authorized for them to come on. As soon as that happens, we will have the Water Resources Management Agency as one of our guests. In the meantime, I'm going to be lining up a few other guests who will be on air with us in the coming weeks. So I want to wish all of you a very wonderful Tuesday. Have a great week and look out for our carnival band, Flowing Clean, and PMA carnival band for the kids, for children. We will be launching our costumes very shortly. I want you to look out for our costumes and to sign up, register your children early for our carnival band. And once again, remind you that the community cleanups are happening. Nettoyer Soufrière has started. I want all communities to take part and to keep our community clean. Have a wonderful rest of the day, everybody, and see you next week, same place, same time. Radio show where the Sufa River and ravines have a voice and communities take the lead. Each week, we dive into the heart of the Flowing Clean project, discussing the most recent activities, giving insight into upcoming ones. We will uncover the science and the solutions